1-minute introduction from each of the candidates, and we'll start with Ms. Stern.
Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Stern, and I am running in the State House District 91 race, and I am the Democratic nominee, so I'm going to the November ballot, and I do not have a primary. This district goes from Port Everglades to Southeast Boca, so there's about 9,000 Palm Beach County residents in this district. It's a very important portion because this is what helped Ellen Bogdanoff win many years ago when she was in a primary with 6 other men. So it's an important district. At any rate, I'm an attorney in Fort Lauderdale, and I practice employment and labor law, so equal rights is a very important issue to me. It's something that I've been practicing for 7 years in my law practice, and it's something that I will bring to Tallahassee. Thank you.
The ERA, Equal Rights Amendment, is a permanent guarantee of equality for women and men. Do you support the ERA, and will you co-sponsor it?
Yes, actually, I do support the ERA, and I would co-sponsor that legislation. It's very important, and it's actually an interesting topic since I am an employment lawyer. And these are issues I deal with on a daily basis. I give seminars to my clients at the House who have equal rights in the workplace, equal pay. These are battles we're still fighting today that we shouldn't be fighting. And I would definitely support legislation on that issue. Thank you.
There is a disproportionate representation of women in the legislature. How would you support the candidacy of women who support the mission of Palm Beach County now?
Good afternoon. I am the only woman in this race. This is a seat that has been held by Ellen Bogdanoff in the past, a woman, Debbie Sanderson in the past, a woman. However, they have not stood up for women's issues. I assure you, any one of the 3 men who are running on the other side will not be standing up for women's issues. I will. That's why it is so important to get another woman in this race, but not just any woman, the right woman. We only represent 25% of the legislative body in the House, which is disgusting to me. We are more than 50% of the population, and we need a change. So to make a difference, we have to get more women up there who will stand up on the right issues. Thank you.
Ready. This is a little lengthy. In this past session, there were several bills that attacked women's health care rights, which are a matter of life and death. Are you pro-choice? I know some of you addressed this already. And how would you advocate for a woman's right to safe legal abortion, effective birth control, and emergency contraception?
Well, one of the things we need to stop doing is treating women as if they're a pre-existing condition, that they get exclusions in healthcare. We're constantly treated different. We have exclusions that men don't have. And frankly, I want to know, when is it a man is going to have a doctor come into his private issues and dictate how he has his life? Is he going to get coached on whether or not he gets a vasectomy, what other kinds of Viagra medication he takes? When we start looking at it this way, there's this major disparity. I'm a pro-choice individual, and I also hear this term pro-family. Well, guess what? I love my family. I don't think anybody doesn't love their family. It's a ridiculous terminology to me. But we need to stop mandating health care on women. The same people who oppose the health care reform up in Washington because there was a mandate on health care are the ones mandating health care on women here in the state of Florida, and the hypocrisy stops now. Yes, I have visited clinics in the past, and we need tougher standards. These are hate crimes. These are horrible, horrible things that happen to women trying to exercise their constitutionally protected rights to have access to health care. And we need to do something about it. We need to have safe zones around the clinics. We need to work with law enforcement. I mean, it's crazy that if a county commission is going to take up a controversial issue, they get tons of law enforcement to come out and protect them and escort them to their cars. But the average citizen who has to go somewhere for health care doesn't get the same benefit. So we need to have safe zones, and we need to have better protection and stop funding these ridiculous billboards. Thank you.
The Fair Pay Act expanded workers' rights to sue for inequitable pay. And sorry, I forgot my glasses.
If you can't read it, I'm not sure I can answer.
Yeah, relax the statute of limitations, restarting the 6-month check every time a worker receives a paycheck. What can we do to equalize the pay scale?
This is my area of expertise, and I could go on and on and on and on about this, but one of the things I will tell you is we need to look at our case law, we need to combine it with our statutory law, because under case law it says if you have a discrimination policy in your company and you don't educate your employees on it, it's the same thing as not having one. So we need to implement that in our state laws as well, because we have state laws that protect against discrimination. But if people don't know about it, they don't have access. Now the EEOC, or the federal laws, is what provides for the 180 days. That's where the 6 months comes in. But under state, for discrimination, it's 365 days. So we need to be able to look at this. We need to pass the ERA, and we need to bring equality in, and we need to make sure people know their rights. And that is the first step in making progress, is making sure people know their rights. Thank you. Just a point of clarification, Florida is the only state with a complete ban on gay adoption. I think it's Louisiana or Mississippi that bans gay couples from adopting, but they will allow one individual gay person to adopt. Florida is just ridiculous in what we're doing, and we're so behind the times on this issue. We need to change it. It's ridiculous to me that we will pay gay individuals to be foster parents and then turn around and tell them you're not good enough, or there is something inherently wrong with you to permanently adopt that child. There's too much hypocrisy in the state of Florida, and we have to do something about it. When I first got into this race, I was asked my views on gay marriage, and I said, I don't tell my straight friends whether or not they should get married, and I certainly would never tell my gay friends whether or not they should get married. It is no one's business. It's a personal decision, and no one should stop anybody from exercising their rights to want to be with another individual. Thank you.
What do you think should be done to solve the issue of illegal immigration in the
We
U.S.?
need to make sure that the federal government is doing the job to protect our borders. We are a coastal state, and this is an issue for us here in Florida. I don't agree with separate state laws on this issue, but I do believe in giving our law enforcement the tools that they need to enforce the laws. Our law enforcement needs the proper training on how to enforce the laws. So we need to work together on a federal level to make sure that these laws are properly implemented. But we also have to make sure that employers have a good, strong database to use to verify that the people that they're employing are here and are here legally, so that they can rely on that information. Thank you. Again, my name is Barbra Stern, and I am the only female candidate in District 91 race. And I am running because we need better representation up in Florida. We need to restore balance to the House. It defies logic that there are only 44 Democratic House members up there, yet there's 120 state representatives. So we need to bring some balance up there. We need to turn things around. We need someone who's going to stand up and challenge and question and not play follow the leader, because we've had 14 years of follow the leader in this state, and we need to do something different. And I'm going to go up there, and I'm someone who can walk across the aisle and work with both sides to get something done, because I got to tell you, Democrats have to be able to do that to get things accomplished, because we are in the minority, we are not in the majority. So it's going to take some level-headed, reasonable-minded people who aren't afraid to stand up and yell. Someone like a Kelly Skidmore who will stand up on the floor and call people out when they do something wrong. I am known for calling people out when they do things the wrong way. So I want your support. I've been endorsed by Equality Florida, labor unions, but your endorsement is the most important, your individual support.